Well, there are setbacks in life, as everybody knows, especially with these times. And by with these times, I mean, yeah, whatever. I did go to John Deere yesterday. Got me two filters, thermostat. Gasket was supposed to be here today, and the truck ain't coming, so I'm kind of stuck on the thermostat. Pretty sure I got some gasket making material. I may just make me a gasket. And I was looking at this thermostat. On the very inside of it, you won't be able to see it on camera. It says 71 degrees Celsius. Now, if you convert that, that's 159.6 degrees. So that thermostat is a 160, which seems awful cold to me. But I guess that's what they wanted it to run at. I know there's not one in there because the water just flows and flows and flows. Now, it could be that it's stuck, but I'm assuming there's not one in there. So I'm going to pull it apart. If I got gasket material, I may just make one. That way I don't have to wait on the gasket. When the gasket comes in, it was only like $4 or $5. I'll have it on the shelf or in the drawer for later use. So that's all good. I did get my spin-on filters. We're going to pull that dude off. And I've got they call it a tailpipe muffler cutter. Tailpipe muffler cutter. What he said. I can't remember where I put it. It's in here somewhere. Anyway, I know it's here. I'll have to find it. But I'm going to use it and try and cut that filter open, and we'll see what's inside of it. I got to go run a few errands and pick up a couple other little things and talk to some people about a dog. And we'll get to work on this old girl. Y'all keep watching. I'll be back. Ooh. What is that? I don't know what that is. I bet there's some schmooze in there. Let's spin us a filter on there before it siphons our hydraulic oil out of there. These are supposed to be the same filters, different size boxes. They're the same part numbers and whatnot. Hey, John Deere. There we go. Filter. Oh, that feels good. Feels nice. We will just stop the flow of that up. There we go. New filter. Well, there's the little muffler cutter. And it seemed to have worked out pretty good. We're going to take a look at this filter. Well, hell, she don't really look all that bad. A little bit of schmutz down in there. I gotta say though, this is a pretty damn good quality filter. Got a little bit of stuff in it, but not near what I was thinking. Now there could be a lot of fine particles in there that we can't see that's actually clogging the filter. I don't know, not too bad. I gotta say though, I'm very impressed with the quality of the genuine John Deere filter. I mean, most filters inside do not look like this. This is a very nice filter, and I guess you get what you pay for sure. So still wondering why our hydraulics don't work. That's kind of awkward. Last video I left off working on this brake. And I got everything done to it. I got everything cleaned up, greased up, made sure it was working correctly. I had a hell of a time fighting my adjustment right here. this had been together so long and ended up with a torch and some cuss words, but it does work now. It's adjusted, and both my brakes work on each side, which is freaking awesome. I did notice the other day, this is the little breather tube for the transmission, and you can see she is clogged smooth up. And the way this seat was mounted on here, it bent it. It's so close to the seat. I gotta pull the seat off. I'm gonna get the rest of this broken piece out. This is still clogged up. The other day I come in here to feed the dogs and noticed a little bit of oil around the dipstick. I pulled it, and when I broke the seal, I heard it relieve its pressure. So that tells me that the vent tube on the transmission is not working, which is not good, because any little bit of moisture we have in the transmission, once it heats up and gets hot enough, if it can't breathe, it's going to create pressure. And that's probably where this little bit of seepage is coming from around a few areas, is it's actually pressurizing the transmission crankcase, or transmission case. So we got to get that vent out of there, replace that so it can breathe. Maybe once we get this thing hot, it'll help boil out some of the moisture that's in the oil that's in it. And I'm sure there's a whole bunch of garbage in the bottom of the transmission. It's really hard to get at. We're just going to keep changing filters. If it costs me a little money, I'm good with it, but it's not worth breaking the tractor in half to clean it out. So I guess on to the thermostat. I'm gonna see if I got some stuff. We'll make us a gasket. All right, let's see what we got. No thermostat. That makes sense. Sandpaper. 150. Little double D. And sand. Let's wipe it off. Oh, perfection. I'm going to give you a little tip I learned from some old heads way back in the day. When you're making gaskets, sometimes it's hard to get down in the middle here. So what I do is, I've got a little dark black moly grease. And what I do is I just smear a little bit on here. And when you put it down on your gasket material, it gives you perfect witness marks of the flange, so you have something perfect to cut out your gasket with, instead of having to draw around it and find center. And you just smear a little grease on it and stamp it, and you got a perfect gasket. Now just cut it out, and you now have the perfect gasket. Little material from the dang old O'Reilly's down the road, a razor blade and a couple punches, and we got a John Deere gasket. And just like that, we have a cleaned up thermostat housing with a fresh sealing surface. We have a gasket and a thermostat. And I also got the block cleaned off. I don't really like using whiz wheels, angle die grinder with a roll-lock disc, because yes, it cleans, yes, it's fast. This is not a dealership, and I like my surfaces to be clean and flat. So I usually wrap a piece of like 150 or 200 sandpaper around a fowel and go straight across the top. It cleans everything very nice and leaves you with a flat surface to seal on. Now, one other thing, I see a lot of people will go buy a gasket and then smother it in silicone on each side. And I've never understood the point of a gasket if you're putting sealer on it. Now, I can understand if you have a bad pitted surface, let's say like this exhaust manifold. If I pulled that off there and the surfaces were bad pitted, depending on what style of gasket goes on there, if I don't think it's going to seal properly, then yes, some high temp silicone would be in order. But because I have a thermostat housing that has a very nice sealing surface and no pits and a block, the only thing I do is put the gasket on it. Now, this side has a small layer of grease on it that makes it slightly tacky. And I'll just put that towards the block and it will help it stay there. But I've never understood why people smother tubes of silicone on both sides of a gasket. Does that not defeat the purpose of a gasket? You tell me. Let's install this. Well, the hydraulics work now, so there had to have been something with that filter. I don't exactly know what. Let's come up just a hair. There we go. Hang my strings right here. Keeps the 3-point from flopping out into the tire while I'm running it around. All right, I'm gonna call that successful. She's up to operating temperature now, which is freaking sweet. A little smoky in here, but I got the door open. Hydraulics are working, thermostat's in. Heck yeah. Bitchin'. Oh, that's a load off my mind. Cool. All right, well for now, we're done with this. I think I'm going to swap this out for the Bobcat and keep working on it. Trying to get all my equipment in, ready to run shape. That way I can put it to work. Because if you watched another video, I got big things going to happen. I don't know quite when, but I got big things coming. Let me swap these machines out. Keep on working. I always get ahead of myself. I went to pull the tractor out and realized I hadn't fixed my vent. Ended up taking the seat off. I had a little brass 90, cleaned everything out. It had a bunch of trash in there, so I had to run in there with a pick and use the vacuum, and now I got me a little piece of line hanging off. So that's fixed. So now we can go get the Bobcat. All right, Bobcat installed. Well, into the shop anyway. I got to go over a few things and make sure they're good. I've got a piece of some kind of acrylic, Lexan, something like that. I'm going to be making a back window for this thing. During the summertime, the heat off the radiator really rolls in there, and it just cooks you. So I'm going to make a back window for it and see if that doesn't help. And in the meantime, I'm going to end up moving my light. I'm going to cut this bracket off of here, and I'm going to end up doing something different. I want to move the light up a little bit. Not only that, but it interferes with where the window's going to go, so it needs to be moved anyway. I've got to do a little bit of BFH work right here because this is a little bent, and comb over a few things. I got an axle seal that I need to address, but I'm not going to do it right now. I'm just going to check the fluid. And I grease this thing every time I use it, so I know everything's greased real nice. But I'm gonna try and get it cleaned up a little bit. Get a back window put in it, get it checked over. So that's what we're gonna be doing to the Bobcat. All right, some time has passed. Oh, hey, Miss Kitty. What you doing, baby? What you doing, baby? Got the back of the Bobcat all cleaned off. Got that piece cut off of this side, ground down. Got some fresh black paint on it. Found some cardboard and cut me out a template for the back window. And I happened to find that laying around. Don't know what percent it is, but I'm going to use it. And we're going to cut us a window. I can't seem to find a jigsaw anywhere around this place because I am not a woodworking man, if you haven't noticed. I can't do nothing with a welder, and I mean, technically I could cut it with that, but don't think it'd come out all that great. So we'll have to get me a jigsaw so we can, out us a window. But that ain't no big deal. I'll have to probably do that in the next day or so. But she's looking better. I got this as straight as I could. That's fairly thick metal. It should work though. I'm gonna get some sticky weather stripping, put it right here. I'm actually gonna cut the window about an inch bigger than it needs to be, so I've got to overlap all the way around. And then I can stick some weather strip right here, press it on there, and then I can run some self-tappings in it. Something to that effect anyway. So got quite a bit done. I have to get me a jigsaw, and then we'll cut that window out. All right, boys. We got her all cut out and tinted. I know it looks like crap in the light, but it's not clean yet. It'll look better once I clean it. The template is actually the exact same size as the hole. So I measured about 1.5 inches, 1.25 inches around it to make it bigger, so I have a sealing surface. So this is actually bigger than the opening, and it should sit, I don't know, about like this. And I've got some weather stripping, 3/16, 3/4 by 10 feet, 3/4 wide. I'll put that on the outside of the window. When I smush it up there, it should seal all the way around. So, coming along. I'll get it clean. It'll look a hell of a lot better. So, here we go. Well, that was a new piece, but oh my God, I could not get the film off of it. This stuff's it's brand new, but it's been sitting in my barn forever. And you can see the grain in it. Every time you try and pull on it, pieces pull off. That was the biggest pain in the ass. But, she looks pretty badass. It's on there. I like it. It's just enough tint. Should stay on there. It's going to be a hell of a lot better, that's for sure. Alright, I'm going to get back to mounting the light up, and we'll keep going on it. Alright, boys, I done got what I can do on my time off. I got my light remounted. Back window is in and finalized. I got all of my fluids checked. Couple things tightened up. I think she's pretty much ready for some work. We're going to end it off right here. I got to go back to work, of course. Man, it seems like these days go by fast. Anyway, boys, we appreciate y'all watching. It's been Turtle Man. Y'all keep watching. I got more stuff to do.